Welcome to The Point of View. This is your favorite current affairs show on Channel 1 television. Here on The Point of View, we pick the right topics, we get the right guests, and ask them relevant questions on issues that matter to you. We're live again tonight with a big show. So the 9th Parliament is in its formative stages. We interacted with the majority leader a couple of days ago. Tonight, we're happy to have the minority leader to speak to us about how he sees this new parliament, the transition process, and the challenge ahead of not just President Mahama, but the whole country as we try to move to the next level. We're back with my guest in a few minutes.
Introducing a new era of sophistication and power. The Avle Julian from Zondertech Ghana Limited. The Julian is packed with features that elevate your journey. Enjoy excellent interior build quality designed for comfort and style. Experience an impressively smooth and refined drivetrain powered by a 1.5-liter turbocharged engine with 147 horsepower and 220 newton-meters of torque. Visit us at your nearest dealership and drive away your brand new Avle Julian. Call us on 0501 772222 or 0501 773333.
Fire pomudi ni agubi Ghana fueni age efri say ya your local spices na ya frafra bia ya sankofa natural spice
me de go me jollof mu ni mi still ahodoma e ma ne dance
darling the barbecue they go on
sankofa natural spice and one we use 100% natural.
Adofo, mamunye huge mistake. Sankofa natural spices. Didi.
FDA ejedi nkratu yatu.
Welcome back. So tonight we're speaking to the minority leader and MP for Efutu, Alexander Kwamina Afenyo-Markin. Here's a quick excerpt of who the man is.
Our guest on The Point of View tonight, Alexander Kwamina Afenyo-Markin, born on May 27, 1978 in Winneba in the Central Region. He is a prominent politician and a legal practitioner. He represents the Efutu constituency in Parliament with the New Patriotic Party. Afenyo-Markin holds a Bachelor of Law from the University of Buckingham in 2003 to 2006, a Barrister at Law certificate from the Ghana School of Law from 2007 to 2009, and a Master of Arts in International Politics and Security Studies from the University of Bradford from 2009 to 2010. In his professional career, Afenyo-Markin served as a principal postal officer at the Ghana Post Company Limited from 1999 to 2003. He was the director at Excel Courier Ghana Limited from 2004 to 2011 and associate at Dehinya Chambers from 2010 to 2016. He was first elected to Parliament in 2012, defeating the incumbent Mike Hammer. Within Parliament, he has been a member of several committees, including the Appointments Committee, Business Committee, Finance Committee, Standing Orders Committee, Defense and Interior Committee, and the Committee of Selection. In February 2024, Afenyo-Markin was appointed as the majority leader in Parliament, succeeding Oseche Mensah Bonsu. Beyond his parliamentary duties, Afenyo-Markin has initiated several projects in his constituency, such as the One Teacher, One Laptop initiative, which has provided approximately 1,000 laptops to teachers in both private and public schools. He also launched the Efutu Dream in February 2023 to promote local culture and attract tourism and investment to the area. Afenyo-Markin serves as the minority leader in Ghana's 9th Parliament.
So that was a quick intro to the man. He's here in the flesh. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, sir.
You are in the same, many happy returns. You are in the same top you were in on the floor today. It means you've been working since what time?
I'm coming from the office.
Coming from the office?
Yes, please.
What time does your day start?
It depends, sir.
Wow. So on a day where there's both plenary and vetting, what will be the schedule?
Well, I can't be very specific, but let's say to the office, it could be 7 a.m., it could be 6, it could be 9, depending on what I want to do before I get to the office.
So work can start before you get to the office?
Yes, because you need to, what you see on your TVs, perhaps I should say the final outcome of the behind the scenes talking. So sometimes you would have to wake up very early, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. You have to engage in a conversation on the matter to ensure that there is consensus, you know. Sometimes you have to stay late in the night to engage people, stakeholders. What happens in Parliament is not only about parliamentarians. We have the party machinery. There are owners of the party. These owners have their own thinking. You need to get their view. You remember in the NDC in opposition, they would always say they are going to the political committee. And that was a difficult time where they will tell you last minute that we are sorry, we are not with you again, because that's what the political committee says. So that's how it is. You as a leader.
So the work of Parliament begins before Parliament?
Indeed, you can simply put it that way.
And it never ends, because you do what they call the night walk.
You have to. You must be a night worker to be in leadership. If you cannot night walk, you cannot be in leadership.
So it's not just about law, procedure, it's also consensus, discussions, compromises.
Yeah, I think over 90% of the things we do in Parliament, gets done through consensus. We have few situations that you would have to go aggressive, like what we're experiencing now. So far, we vetted nominees. Not a single one of them did we disagree with. We had our own views on it, except Mr. Ama Kofi Boah, who eventually ate a humble pie, because we felt strongly that how we treated President Akufo-Addo was uncalled for. The day was a ceremonial day, and in Parliament, it's not every day that we debate. There are days that we get a guest, we need to extend courtesies.
You're talking about the state of the nation.
The SONA, the last one.
The last one.
Yes, and then that was a day that we all had an agreement that, look, this is a man's final day with us.
So let's tone it down.
Not to tone it down, but let's extend courtesies.
Okay.
And at the highest level of his own party, the understanding was that he was to extend courtesies. Then I don't know which hardliner slotted that attack in, and he moved away from
quoting scriptures and all.
What was expected of him. And I had to put my script aside to respond to him. I wasn't comfortable. And as a party, we felt that was very unfortunate. So we voted against his nomination at the committee level.
Okay.
And then he found reason to engage us. And this afternoon, through good discussions. And let me commend the majority leader, my respected senior colleague, Honorable Ayariga. His diplomacy is at its all-time best. I mean, he engaged in some useful discussions, leading to the apology and retraction, and we had to include that in the report. And I wanted to be very sure, so I had to stop the proceedings at a point.
To be sure that they have captured that.
You know, because as a leader, you also know that you are serving your party. It's the party that brought me in. So you don't just go there and think that you are the leader and that you act on your own. I needed to be sure. So true to it, they acted gentlemanly, and we allowed it.
Which is why you didn't insist on a vote by.
Otherwise, we're going by secret ballot, and
but your numbers are so.
Oh, I mean, that's what you think.
I mean,
be careful.
80.
No. Be careful with secret ballots.
But
on any look, no politician would want to risk secret ballots. So it was good he chose that path.
Interesting. First point though, for somebody who was so vehemently opposed to being referred to as minority leader in the last parliament, you actually seem to be enjoying the work, because you seem to be in your element, both on the floor, in committee. You said it was bad luck.
No, I never said
something
it was bad luck. Let me say what I said. First of all, I disagree with you if you submit that I vehemently opposed to being called a minority leader. I was not a minority leader
at the time.
No, I was not.
Yes,
and I wouldn't allow anybody to describe me as such. I mean, Bernard, I wouldn't, and nothing would compel me to accept that. And I said that, I'm the majority leader. Why should I go and take the seat of the minority?
Maybe so. My
friend, oh come on, my friends disagree with me that at least I should get in there and make my case. But I didn't see why I had to go there. And I remember saying that spiritually it's not good to go and sit on the minority seat. But that was not it. I mean, indeed, I maintain that. I'm not going to run away from.
So it wasn't good at the time.
Of course, but I'm the majority leader.
Okay.
Why should I? If you go to a chief's palace, you tell a chief that somebody has come to take your seat. So Nana, it doesn't happen in our culture. My place was to the right of Mr. Speaker. We were litigating the matter in court.
Yeah.
The court had ruled on the matter. My friends were supposed to respect the law. By the way, have you asked them what really compelled them to go back honorably to their seat when we came back into the chamber after the election? There was no proud discussion. There was no negotiation. That morning I asked my
the election ended all arguments.
Because they felt when I was telling people that these guys were doing politics and people misunderstood me. But in the end, after the elections, they now walked back into their own seats and then pretended as if everything was okay. So the question is, why after the elections? Is it at a point the NDC put up a posture because they wanted to win at all costs, to disturb government business, frustrate us, even situations where laying of papers. They will tell you that there will be chaos. You remember Kwame Abuja, my respected colleague who is now the Minister of Roads, all right? Kwame will say that laying of papers will lead to chaos in the chamber. Look, being in government is not easy. You see how today they are struggling. They claim they had 188 or 181, whatever. But on any day, they are unable to bring 100 into the chamber.
You keep making reference to that.
Today, they were 104.
And you were how many?
I counted them. I needed to add up my numbers. Assuming I wanted to frustrate them, they wouldn't have had the vote taken. On all the votes we've taken, on all the nominees, we had to add to their numbers.
Fair enough. On hindsight, though, would you say that in the previous parliament and this majority-minority fight were where to sit, government business suffered, and that you probably won the argument, but you couldn't push through government agenda in those hours? Because your opposite number said here that he is more interested in getting things done than in essentially winning the argument.
Well, with time, he would see more of the reality. I've been there before. Unfortunately, he would benefit from my experience if he's ready to tap into it. They were not being reasonable at the time. In the last year of President Akufo-Addo's administration, they took up a posture that, look, they will frustrate. Look, there are things that I have to enter my casket with, and I would not be able to discuss, and I cannot discuss. But trust me, our friends were just unreasonable. But that is politics. There are times that when somebody is smelling power, no matter what you do, they would take you to the cleaners. They will decide not to go with you because they are smelling power. Besides, there was no room for us to even have discussions with our friends. Because anything you discuss with them, Ato, for instance, Ato has been a brother. I will go to Ato's house. He will come to my house. We will talk. Then he will tell you that Kwamena, Mpocho, the man said me is a political committee, so I can't promise. Immediately Ato start telling you that you should know that there's trouble. Kwame Agboja, my very good friend, we worked so well in opposition. When I was in opposition and they were in government, our first time in Parliament, Agboja, we had
2013
to 2016. Agboja would tell me that, Kwame, I'm sorry, our political committee has taken a decision. There were times that we had to go behind to engage at the highest level of their party. Last minute they will say, oh, we are sorry, that is the political committee's decision. Now, I'm giving them some breather. I've not started any opposition.
You haven't started?
No. Oh, I've not opposed them.
So this is comedy?
It's not comedy.
Or this is the
it's not even
so what is this?
I'm saying that for NDC, me Kwame, I've not opposed them. Look, really? I've given them great moments to start their government. Look at the record since 1997. This is the first time that ministers are going through vetting within the shortest possible time. I had to take some criticisms from our party, but I defended my stance. Look, I've been in government before. I'm in opposition. What is my gain if I frustrate them that, oh, there should be 3 weeks waiting and then everything is as a standstill? I don't want the country to be run by civil servants. First quarter of a government victory, first quarter of into the administration of a new government should be run by civil servant. No. Wow. You, the political leader, you have your vision. Get the opportunity to get in. You know, all these institutions, an order from the chief of staff, don't pay contractors, don't pay suppliers, don't pay businessmen.
You want to avoid all that?
It's the businessmen who run the country for us. It's through their industry that we get our taxes.
Okay.
I took a position that, look, let's quickly take them through. Unless those that are so critical, there are some, we were having 3 that we're going to vote on. One has eaten a humble pie. We have 2 more that we are going to vote on them. Those 2.
Who have been vetted already?
No, they have not been vetted already. We have 2. All right?
But how do you know you vote on them?
Oh, but I'm telling you.
Even though they haven't been vetted.
I'm the leader of the opposition and I'm telling you what we are going to do.
Is that not a premeditated stance?
Well, you can call it. I'm a politician. This is my political position. I'm telling you.
Who are you referring to?
Well, I'm saying that we have 2. The 2, one engaged me extensively and I have to relay his engagement to the external stakeholders of the party. If he agrees to be a true gentleman, to know that he acted so badly in terms of his posture, his public conduct,
in opposition,
and his attack on us, and he agrees that whatever he did was unbecoming of a decent politician, per the terms of the discussion this evening, if he is ready to do what he has promised to do, we go by consensus. The other one met me, he was being dodgy, trying to rationalize. We are watching. I'm saying that on any day, I don't want to take you through a secret ballot. We believe that, look, President Mahama is not going to appoint MPs as ministers. It is your bona fide. However, we want some decency in our politics. Bernard, what is happening in the country? People are taking it for granted, but I don't take it for granted. The way we are communicating to the youth, MPP, NDC, we should watch the space. One day, we may not sleep well and we may not wake up well.
I want to show you something you did on the floor today where you referred to your side as, after all, the mighty minority. I'll take a comment on that. Let's go there.
Are we just the minority? The minority just counted the majority. without our numbers, you won't be able to take this motion. No, we are just reminding you that you have a lot of empty seats. We have counted you. You need ours to add up. So after all, what has become of your mighty, your super majority? This is your so-called super majority. What shall it benefit an NDC super majority when in critical moments its super majority will rely on the minority? So on this occasion, Mr. Speaker, on this occasion, it is clear that the super majority would have to rely on the mighty minority. Mr. Speaker, we will support them with our mighty minority. We will support you.
So that was a few hours before we came in. Why is the adjective so important?
So let me go back to conclude my submission on our posture as a political class. We use words like they are looting, they are thieves, criminals, etc., etc. In doing so, we move away from the governance issues and delve into the gallery and create certain impressions of ourselves. Perhaps we want to use that to win power, forgetting that that is feeding into the psyche of a new generation. Look at the way the NDC guys, today they call the President of the Republic, John Mahama, threatening him. That is not our culture. I told them that I'm not a prophet. I'm neither am I a seer. But the way they were unleashing the youth on us as MPP, leading them into people's homes. In fact, they themselves at a point realized the effect of it, so they stopped. They were leading people into people's homes, attacked them, they are thieves, and they stopped. Today, look at what happened in my own Winneba. Those NDC youth, what they did. Other places, burning offices, going into people's homes, attacking the president, not even MPP youth or MPP politicians going on radio to attack. I would plead with my colleagues. This whole issue of governance is about your ideology, your agenda for the nation. We can rally around and discuss the issues without condescending. Let me put it that way. I'm not praising you or flattering you. I'm not saying this because I'm on your platform. But Bernard, in Ghana today, the CSOs, the political class, the intelligentsia, the middle class, those who matter in Ghanaian society, know the worth of your platform. Because I know that any day, my friend Richie Sky, my friend Bernard Avle, forgetting about friendship, if I mess up, they will give it to me. When I do it right, they will commend me. When City FM or Channel 1 TV takes up an issue, it discusses it objectively, and you can say whatever you want to say to them. They are not going after you as a person, but they do so in the interest of national development. Can this feed into what we do as politicians?
Let's stay with that point.
If we do,
I want to stay with that point.
It's going to help. But if we don't, one day we may not sleep well and we may not wake up well.
It's important on the basis of that for politicians to be honest. When the president was in opposition, he said he would give us 60 ministers. You went to the floor to say he should apologize to Ghanaians and admit that it's not possible. How will young people have confidence in our politics if people say one thing in opposition and come into government and do a different thing?
Okay, thank you very much for teasing that out. You see, Bernard, again, I think that with the greatest respect to His Excellency, he allowed the wind to blow him along. And I'm not saying that to him as a person, but to the two political parties. You see, we are in the business of politics. A CSO, a media, looks at a situation differently, okay? It is for us to also control the narrative. As I come to your platform, you hold certain views. Mine is to persuade you, be persuasive as much as possible, and let you know that I need these structures in place to enable me function. I'll give you an example today. We have Minister for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. Local government, they've included sanitation. All the civil servants in the 3 ministries combined will remain. It is the head, the political head, that has changed. The headship has changed. So we have one political head. Trust me, NDC has its own manifesto. The manifesto has certain provisions and has made certain promises. To enable them achieve that, they need proper political supervision. So for me, if you are a politician, you know your agenda for the country and what you would need to do it. If a civil society organization comes and says, look, having ministers, about 3 ministers for this is too much, your job is to engage and say, look, these are my justifications for asking for 3, or these are the reasons why I have to put in 3 ministers for this particular sector.
What makes you think that didn't happen?
No.
Because even the the candidate of the party supported even promised 50. So obviously there was some thought that went into it. I'm just we don't have all day. That's why I'm trying to move forward. I get your point. You've explained yourself in Parliament. What I'm basically saying is, look, Mahama said 60, Bawumia said 50.
Simply put, I think
the man has won. Why should he now say?
Simply put, I humbly submit, at the risk of being immodest. I humbly submit that we as a political class haven't properly navigated the narrative. We have not properly articulated the views we have, the challenges we face, and how we want to shape
politicians have all the airtime. You talk more than most people.
That is what I'm saying. That
so if you've not been able to explain,
so that's a shortcoming. I'm admitted. Don't forget that my own party promised 50 ministers.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying that looking at the volume of work, the quantum, the expectation, and how we want to drive our own vision, it is not the civil servant has no obligation to the voter.
That's true.
He has no obligation to the voter. If you need something done in a week, a civil servant may decide, okay, in a month.
He has permanence.
Exactly.
And you have just 4 years.
That also adds to
so
the weakness.
Sometimes their role is better, more important.
Not
because it's a governance issue, not a politics issue.
Okay.
We're talking about quality of governance.
I agree to some extent. But in another breath, I also disagree. And why do I disagree? You know that your mandate is time bound. You want to achieve results in a particular manner. You want to do away with waste. You want to do away with laziness. You want people to be time conscious. Now, when you don't put in place proper supervision, you can achieve that.
Fair enough. That's your point. This is the point of view.
That is why
we will come back and continue. My guest is the minority leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin. We are getting used to it because for a long time we called you majority, so forgive us.
So you would want to say mighty minority?
Micro.
We'll be right back. That's an abomination.
We will see how that goes. Stay with us. We are live. We'll take your questions as well. Even before we came on, a lot of people sent questions for you, so I'll read some as well.
No problem at all.
We'll be right back.
We have recorded tremendous success in ensuring that the vision of our founding fathers does indeed become a reality.
We welcome you to the next Africa Prosperity Dialogues and the Africa Prosperity Champions Awards, which take place in Accra, Ghana from the 30th of January to the 1st of February 2025.
I will work to foster the partnerships that transcends our borders, and I'll work collectively with you towards regional stability, economic growth, and mutual respect.
We see our role in enabling Africans to have a better future.
We indeed have what it takes. There is no dream which is too big or impossible.
On occasions like these, we give ourselves an excellent opportunity to showcase the difference we can make.
To register, visit africaprosperitynetwork.com. Africa Prosperity Dialogues 2025, delivering Africa's single markets through infrastructure. Invest, connect, integrate.
Here's Kwame and Yao. After hours of planning, both have locked in the same perfect multi-bet. Big win for United, over 1.5. And both teams to score in the London Derby. But who could have picked Leicester over City? Or a high-scoring game at the Bridge? There's nothing worse than having your perfect multi-bet missing. But there's nothing better than having it saved. Bet saver, win even if your bet misses.
Are you tired of roaming for your medications and can't find them? Do you want to speak to a pharmacist or simply need privacy when buying your medications? Do you want your drugs to be delivered to you at the comfort of your home or office? Then it's time to download the DrugNet app, spelled DRUGNET, from the Play Store or App Store to enjoy total convenience. Use DrugNet, your multiple award-winning online pharmacy, for prompt delivery of all your medications. For further inquiries on DrugNet, call 0593-159-139 or 0501-646-496. And remember, we also accept all private health insurance cards. DrugNet, your #1 online pharmacy.
But even members themselves don't take them serious. I think we need to. But before we ask for our pound of flesh, respect is earned. Please. Appointments Committee. We have crafted rules of how Appointments Committee should conduct the business of public hearing. That is the term used, public hearing of nominees of the presidents. I'm not too sure there's reference to those rules in what I am witnessing myself. And I've received so many complaints from observers in Ghana and outside Ghana. This is an opportunity for me to draw your attention to it. That please, respect is earned. How we behave or misbehave will determine how the people will behave towards us or misbehave towards us.
Welcome back. This is The Point of View. We're talking to the Minority Leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin. We're live. That was Speaker Bagwin speaking to the committee that you are ranking on, not very happy with the behavior. Do you understand what he's saying?
Well, as we grow, we learn from our mistakes and we think differently.
Okay.
Speaker Bagwin has been a minority leader before. In the Kufuor era, he was minority leader. When Professor Mills won, he became majority leader, left into the executive, later became one of the three wise men, and eventually was made the majority leader again after Dr. Kumbo had left. And when they lost power, he earned a place for himself as second deputy speaker, eventually as speaker. So there are lots that he has to share. So I would agree with him when he quotes it by saying that respect must be earned. I think he's referring to us, the members on the committee, how we put up our behavior, how we interact with the public, even the way we ask our questions and all. Well, let me talk about myself. Day one of vetting, my first time as minority leader, I watched the clip after. I had the opportunity to interact with some good friends who I would say always have the courage to pull the restraining.
They will speak the truth to you.
Look at me and Halifax and Sado will not care who you are. He will tell you that no more.
Today, yeah.
Richard Sky, he will tell you in the face. My good friend Dr. Marcus, he will call you Kwamina, wait there 1 year. And Madam at home will find a nice way and say, honey. And they said they will call, and I have another auntie who would watch me and say, no, this one. So day one, I felt that no. Chairman Anyafo, we are a family. We are from the same village.
You are from his hometown?
Not his hometown. We are from the same village.
Okay.
All right? We are a family.
It doesn't look like that when we watch the two of you.
What I'm saying is that I looked at it and I said, no, I didn't try. I could have done it better.
That was day one?
Day one. So after that, I decided that, look, no matter what, let me extend all courtesies to him.
Okay.
Even if I disagree, I will pinch him down there or I will write and say, oh, bro, this is what I think. So that we would have a very smooth thing. So on my part, I think that I've not been all perfect in my handling of issues, and I must admit it, especially the day one. Subsequently, I had to review. Even today, when we're trying to solve the Vamawa situation, I didn't like the way Nana Atudaze acted. We were getting calls that we should save land. Speaker himself had reached out to me. He had reached out to the chairman, and we wanted to save land on the matter. But again, I didn't like the way the old man was now trying to tell us, I'm 50 years at the bar. And at that point, I lost it. And though when we closed, we shook hands, and then we understood that we're performing our different roles.
Yeah.
This is somebody that I know, I look up to. But I also felt that he wanted to bully us.
Yeah.
In fact, I wanted to stay out of the process. But the way I saw him bullying and doing, he's a courtroom practitioner.
His personality sort of influenced you guys a bit.
Courtroom practitioners, by their nature, they are bullies. A typical courtroom practitioner may not be a bully by nature, but courtroom practice.
He puts up the act.
Courtroom practice, right? There's a whole drama. You would want to win at all costs. So when he was doing the pound
you lost
for pound,
it a bit.
I felt that no, this old man, he wants to take all of us for granted. So we are younger at the bar, and so what? That was what was running through my head. So I think I hit a bit too hard, especially because of his age.
Yeah.
He's an experienced politician. I thought he could have handled us better.
Yeah.
But I also felt it was not too good. So these are some of the mistakes that we all make. So Speaker's call on all of us is in the right direction. He has a wealth of experience. There are times that I seriously disagree with him. There are times that I think he goes all too partisan. But it's my duty to appreciate where he's coming from, because it's a game of politics. I would have to manage myself to get the best out of the situation. So if I pay attention too much to his position, he's also a politician, and it is a pushback situation. He would also want to make his government look good, but I can also trust Bagwin's objectivity. He can be very objective, and he has a very good human relation. So, right honorable can do something that would upset you, but then on the balance you realize that this man has also been too good to me. So if I overreact,
it's difficult to be too angry with him.
And he has a way of getting you.
Let me ask you a question about committee. It seems to us who watch from outside that the two sides are both performing, and it looks like you are both sending a message to your base. So, for example, when I watched the first few days, it was like the chair was trying to say, we have a majority and we'll let people know. And you were trying to say, we are not a micro minority. You can't bully us. So basically, it was disruptive, it was uncoordinated, and it was like a storming stage of a relationship. It was difficult to watch. So the feedback you got was right. But it seems as if for 2 weeks, it's not improved too much. It's not as bad as it was, but it still feels like...
You mean my person?
No, the whole thing. Let me give an example. When we watched the Muntaka Haruna and then you and the Che Mensa team with Joe Wise, it was easier to follow from an outside view. There's a lot of shouting here, there's a lot of disruption. For example, up until the Omanibuama and a few vettings, you ask a lot of your questions in between. But I think Omanibuama, you took your time and really grilled. A lot of people feel like it's not as tidy as it was in previous. This is from an optics point of view.
Well, they may not be too wrong, but it's a matter of style, okay?
Okay.
And by the way, when you get on a job the first time, you are bound to make some mistakes as you go along. You now, if you really want to improve, you would watch your yesterday and say, no, this one, you can do it better, and you move on. My respected brother and colleague Ahiafo, this is his first time of being a first deputy speaker. His first time of really chairing an important committee like this, even in public. When they were in opposition, the first 4 years in opposition, he didn't chair a committee. All right? When we were in government for 8 years, he was ranking.
For subsidiary legislation. I think subsidiary legislation committee.
His focus has always been on lawmaking. So he's not been in that level of authority. Take me on the other side. I got in deputy leader. I mean, our first 4 years in government, I was above no rank. Even at the committee level, I was not in leadership. My juniors were promoted ahead of me. Then in 2021, I was made deputy leader. I had to understudy Che. And then in February of 2024, I assumed the black chair. Ran through some 10 months. Then I'm now in minority leader. The now minority leader, the entire party is looking up to me. I am bound to make some mistakes.
Yeah.
And this is a party, MPP is a party of equals. People well educated. The base of the party is not the grassroots. The base of the party is the middle and upper class. So you now have to balance it. Are you playing to the gallery? The middle class, no, they don't like that. They want you to come out as very intelligent, knowledgeable, a person who has read, who give a fair representation of what the party's ideology is. You come out as somebody who must be an example.
But the grassroots want you to shout.
Very well.
They want you to fight.
So, I always have to balance it. And if you are not careful, you not be yourself. You would always be listening to this person, get upset, you get irritated. Because the vetting started, you have people telling you that, oh, you are doing so well. Then another person say, oh, no. I remember my junior brother, Nick Teko, he sent me a message that, oh, our social media friends are saying that I'm going to the extreme.
Hey.
Okay. I said, really? Then the next moment, somebody also said that the MPs are being too soft and will not tolerate that. That was the phrase. Will not tolerate that. Oh,
wow.
What is it? I sat down. Then Buama said, look, be yourself, no matter what you do. And I had to take some feedbacks.
Okay.
Reach out to some party elders and ask, say, what should I do? They said, look, carry yourself well, you be yourself, do this, do that. I had to reach out, talking to people here and there. I said, all right, that's okay. I take responsibility. I'm the leader of the party for the time being. I will take responsibility for my actions. I know that the party has a middle class base and a grassroots base. it's the grassroots that will win us power. But I should also be careful in how I guide the thought process or the perception held by the grassroots.
If the grassroots lead you every time.
But it's the middle class that will also finance the party. If you get the middle class upset and they don't finance the party cannot go down to mobilize the grassroots. So if you want to excite the grassroots, you need resources to go and excite them. If the middle class is not happy,
but what about the national interest?
Oh, but I think it is the interest of the parties that feed into the national interest.
They are not always.
No, well, that's for another debate.
No, because I'm saying that because you just pointed out in the first part that the way we posturize for the young people may not be right. So sometimes leadership must be able to tell.
I agree.
Because in the same way that you say NDC equipped up their grassroots, you need to be able to tell your grassroots that this is national business. This is not theater.
Well, in that context, now that I understand you correctly, in that context, I agree with you. So you must always balance it. So, but there are extremist views, on both sides.
That's the test of leadership.
Of course. So my job, sometimes I had to go and I think last week I was watching Bagbin.
The old Bagbin. The 2001 Bagbin.
Sometimes I say, Mr. Speaker, you did worse than me. Sometimes I go to you and say, Mr. Speaker, this one, don't tell me my son, Mr. Speaker, you did worse. Then you tell me that don't copy my bad example. And I watch Che. Then I go and watch J.H. Mensah. All right? J.H. Mensah, he spent a lot of time in advocacy. He could be on his feet for 1 hour. I'm sure today, if I stand on my feet for even 30 minutes, there will be insurrection, at the back bench. They will say that, no, even my own back bench. They say, why is leader alone speaking for 30 minutes? But J.H. Mensah could be on his feet at the dispatch box, arguing for 1 hour and all that. This issue of people saying, why is the leader asking so many questions? I think the chairman answered that for me. The practice since 1997 has always been that leaders have unlimited time. And I don't think, I'm not marking myself, but I don't think that questions I've been asking have been unreasonable. You see, I look at the personalities. For instance, yesterday, Omane is my very good friend. I respect him. Our side respect him. When he came in, my first posture was like, he's going to defense ministry. We don't need to go dig. Let's manage him 30 minutes, let him go. But he did something very unpleasant. First 2 questions, then he started hitting below belt, like the EC thing. I didn't like the way he went after the EC, describing them in very unprintable words, and then concluded by saying that Mensah is his friend. I said, really? Then I took a deep breath. I followed him in his answer, and then unfortunately for him, behind him, people were celebrating him that, he's hit them hard. So I said, okay, if you are my friend.
So you used that route. So he brought it on himself. You're saying the 110 questions you asked him could have been fewer.
You are a friend. He, Mark, and my good self, we are good friends. And in fact, before his vetting, Dr. Ayuefri had come to tell me that is his cousin. So,
is that how people do it in Parliament?
No, I'm telling you, that is, I mean,
it's open matter.
Somebody will call it systems and policies.
I hear.
That's how my good friend and senior brother Kennedy Japan will call it. One day I will explain to you the origins of systems and policies.
Systems and policies.
So Ayu had come to talk for him.
I thought they were roommates or something.
And
medical school.
He said, I said, that's okay, no problem. But Doc Omani Buama was attacking my party. And I could have gone deep, but I just let it slide. And I believe that, for instance, he said, what is chain homes? You go to chain homes all the time. You people are claiming they are looters. But we know that chain homes, me sitting here, chain homes belongs to the military.
As in the land on which it's situated.
The land, right. The land belong to the military.
Used to belong.
Well, let's put the grammar right. The land was originally owned by the military. Somebody close to his party, a businessman, took it by force without any acquisition properly so called. The military drove the person out not once, not twice, several. Then eventually, some regularization was done on the documents. And today, we know who and who live at chain homes. You forget about this. Then you come and say that an MPP, they are looters, and they are this, and they are this. And I was trying to draw his attention. That look, this thing that you people are saying, you go to Cantonment, Laboni, Roman Ridge. Even behind him, there were people who were supporting him that I know they've acquired state lands at Ridge in their name, and I know. But
what method did they use? I think
I'll,
that's the
I'll
argument
get
they're
there.
making,
I'll
right?
get there.
Yeah.
But you get out and you say some people are looting, and it hurts with respect. If something is wrong, it is wrong. But don't go attacking people when you know that they have not done anything wrong.
But should the vetting be about equalization or about the suitability of the candidate?
Well, in politics, if somebody wants you down and he's double speaking, he's being hypocritical, there's nothing wrong if you have to expose a person. All right? Why would you come and create an impression that the MPP brand is a brand of looters? No. I have not looted.
Is that why you keep asking about where they live?
Of course.
And how they got the land?
It is deliberate with the greatest
you are
respect.
equalizing?
I'm not equalizing. But I want to point out to them because when they come, some of them.
But where a person lives is not the same as by
so that
force
is why-
taking a land at a low price. Is that not the issue?
You see, have they established that any land has been acquired below the standard price? Have they established? They have not.
That's for them to answer.
Of course. You see, playing to the gallery, we know some churches that are situated on state lands, state warehouses.
Okay.
Warehouses belonging to the state are now churches. Is the NDC, through my respected colleague Ablakwa, not seeing this? And is Mr. Ablakwa saying that he doesn't know that some state land in prime areas where we are state warehouses are now churches, and that there is no such records as to how the acquisition was done?
So are you saying he's picking and choosing what to, because he's a politician?
Exactly the point.
Politics,
well,
right?
So exactly the point I'm making. And go to airport. All right. So I think that the way our friends try to paint us is what I find unfortunate. They do that for power.
But you also do that in opposition. When MPP was campaigning, you also caricatured. You said Mahama was incompetent. You showed all the things he did wrong.
Wait.
Is that not, you're talking about politics now, I'm not. Is that not fair game for politicians? So should you bring that into vetting of governance? Because I want to distinguish between the politics you do on the platform and when you are on a stage to vet a candidate for the office of, say, defense minister. Is that the place to continue the politics? Should that not be more suitability, the rule of law and those kinds of things?
In my view, respectfully, the suitability includes what you've said. As I'm on this, your platform, you are asking me questions. If I'm going to vie for any office and I have to be asked questions, what I've said would matter.
Okay.
How I conduct myself will matter. Whatever I've done in the public space will matter, including the policy I seek to drive.
Fair enough.
All right? So it's an all-inclusive thing, but I've also managed to introduce decency in the approach. I've shown nominees respect. I've not disrespected them, and that would be the last thing I would do. But at least today, through some of the interrogations we are doing, we know people are pulling down their Facebook posts. People have apologized. Now they know that GIS lands have not been looted. They know. Now they say we are...
Which means that tomorrow in the vetting, we are going to hear more of this.
Oh, it depends on... I cannot tell you how I'm going to approach it. It depends
because
on the situation.
Blackwa is coming tomorrow.
But there are people.
Blackwa, you mentioned he's coming
I've
tomorrow.
seen the clerk has advertised some 8
Samuel
or so
George,
names.
Blackwa,
No, the clerk has advertised some 8 or so names without consultation, and I'm going to deal with that tomorrow. The clerk normally, I mean, yesterday I was the chairman of the committee.
Yeah.
Today we're together. Normally, chairman will discuss with me the number of people we are taking.
So you're not aware of the list or the order or the number?
I am saying that I've become aware that the clerk has made some advertisement. I've notified her.
Wow.
That she has to tread cautiously the way she wants to do it. Because we were in government, she was a clerk to the committee. I'm not going to report her to her boss, but I've told her that when we were in government, we know how she did her work. She would always say she wants to go to ranking, which is Atu Forsen. Now it is MPP in opposition. And then you get up and advertise. And then you invite people.
So you saw the list on social media just like I did?
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
And then you come back and the people will say, oh, leader, I've invited my chiefs. And then my chiefs are here. And so what? If your chiefs are here and I don't know that you are going to be vetted, then you come and ambush me. And that is what the clerk is doing. The chair and I were in the chamber. Chairman didn't call to say that, oh, leader, tomorrow we are going to take 4. We're going to take 5. Then to see it on social media that the clerk has arrogated to herself some powers. No problem. I pray we're able to resolve it. But I don't know, as we sit, who we are going to take. But I've told you...
There are about 7 names there. You don't think you can do all 7?
I'm saying that I'm unaware.
Wow.
My chief whip and I spoke before I came on air. Nobody called him. He is also seeing it on social media.
So clearly the committee is still not working together.
I don't think it is a fault of the chairman.
How can the clerk put names out without consulting?
I respect the chairman. The chairman would engage me.
We'll come back and finish with more points. My guest is the minority leader. So many things to talk about. We're discussing the life of the 9th Parliament, but also the challenge ahead of our leaders for the next 4 years. Alexander Kwame Afenyo-Markin is with us, so don't go away.
Is this thing on now? Walking along like a marathon now. Tying up boys, making them a ball now. Hang along now. I got a message with it, put it in the phone now. See you later, all the haters got it wrong now.
Tank 300, where power meets elegance. Call us on 0501 772222 or 0501 773333.
Life is a celebration of moments. Big and small.
The sun is scorching, I'm feeling the heat.
With Piva Drink, every moment becomes a refreshing celebration. From the beach to your home, in every corner of your world, Piva Drink at a burst of refreshment.
And orange, give me Piva cocktail and tangerine.
Celebrate every moment with Piva Drink. Refreshment for every occasion. Piva Drink, a taste you will love.
P for Piva.
This advert is FDA approved. Here's Kwame and Yao. After hours of planning, both have locked in the same perfect multi-bet. Big win for United, over 1.5. And both teams to score in the London Derby. But who could have picked Leicester over City? Or a high-scoring game at the Bridge? There's nothing worse than having your perfect multi-bet missing. But there's nothing better than having it saved. Bet Saver. Win, even if your bet misses.
let me remind you on a lighter note that the fact that I'm grilling you does not mean that when you get there and you are supposed to give protocol allocation, you deny me. I'm telling you, you cannot, because yes, there is, and committee members benefited. Yes, there is something like that. When I was a defense committee member, your ranking, your members benefited. I am saying it on authority. They did. They even had more than with the MPP members. They did. I'm not. That's a fact. Canada Japan was the chair of the Defense and Interior Committee. They benefited. I'm asking your favorite music, the live band you're talking about.
I'm actually with the locals. I prefer Lumba.
Which of the songs? Which of them?
Yeah, no, sir.
Okay, so go ahead. Let's try.
Mr. Chairman, the truth of the matter is, I'm not too conversant with the words, but I just enjoy the.
Yes, so do the movement. Yes, go on with that one.
Mr. Chairman, is
So those were excerpts from the committee. Let me read a few of your comments. Tell him I said he should keep it up. This is from Cheni Abbas. We are proud of him. He's doing especially well at Appointments Committee. Frank Trinity says, why did the committee keep Omani Boama for almost 5 hours and Honorable Jekum and others for 20 minutes? We Ghanaians doubt the credibility and integrity of the committee. Emmanuel Edem Da Costa, with the overwhelming majority of NDC, how does he plan to ensure proper accountability and transparency among the minority caucus? And what measures will he adopt to discourage or prevent corruption and abuse of power? Jeffrey Kwabena Frimpong, please ask him why he's so furious about being referred to as leader of micro-minority in parliament. Saeed Abdul Ganiyu, great leader. We are proud of you as MPP supporters. Jake Nawura, why does he joke a lot? All right,
sometimes they say I'm too serious.
You are suffering.
So if you
joke,
if you take things easy to leadership is not easy.
If you spend too long on Omani Boama problem, if you don't spend long to problem, there's an interesting one here. It says the name of the cloth minority leader is wearing is called Enibre and Soja.
Enibra and Soja.
Enibra and Soja, to which no matter how red eye one becomes, his eyes do not spark flames. And the person says you are communicating something. What are you saying with this thing you are wearing? Well, you wore the whole day on the floor too. What are you trying to say that we don't understand? You reserve the right to be quiet. But why didn't you ask Linda Oklu any question? We thought that was, after spending all those hours on Omani Boama Facebook post, 110 questions, and then Linda Oklu comes and you basically say, bye-bye. So many people are not happy with you.
Well, it's part of it. When you ask too many questions, you are in trouble. When you don't ask at all, you are in trouble. We know the strength of those who appear before us. And we know their weakness. So sometimes you look at certain situations and you would want to
were you pressed for time? Because
it wasn't a matter of time.
It wasn't a matter of time?
No, it wasn't a matter
Were you, because of the chief, because he came to interview, because you said on the floor that because she mobilized from both sides and you know what she can do, but you know what everybody else can do?
But those who are placed at the lowest ebb of fortunes are equally entitled to our regard, aren't they?
So why did you not ask her even one question?
Those who are placed at the lowest ebb of fortunes are equally entitled to our regard, aren't they?
I still don't understand how that relates to the question I'm asking.
It does.
Were you feeling sorry for her? That she was never so... Because, I mean, by the way, this is the Greater Accra region. This is a region with a lot of problems.
I've heard you on this. You've made this...
Yes, so I want you to explain to me. Because you have a duty to at least let people have an idea of the person's mind for the job. And you did not do that.
So that's one of our failings, isn't it?
So are you going to re-vet her?
No, I'm saying that's one of our failings, isn't it?
No, you can't just let.
No, I'm asking you.
No, I want.
But we passed there. She was part of those.
You passed there.
Yes, we debated the report. You know.
So what did you debate? Since you didn't do anything.
No, but in J.H. Mensah, the Supreme Court did not say that when nominees appear before the appointment committee, they must necessarily be asked questions. That's not what the.
But that's law. But I'm talking governance. Law and governance is not the same. No, you see, something can be lawful, but it may not be good.
But they go together. J.H. Mensah needed the law to enforce the governance views
but
he held
public
at the time.
policy. You are Mr. Markin said you are a committee which is a public-facing committee.
Right.
We are in a democracy that is admired across the world.
Well, it's one of those things that you would disagree with us, but that's all. I'll leave that with you.
So it means you have no reasonable justification for what you did?
Oh, I would disagree with you, but what I'm saying is that you have every right to disagree with us.
So that's why you leave it. You won't give us any further reasons for not vetting her at all.
I've given you, but you've decided not to mind me.
No, I didn't understand the answer you gave.
What did I say?
You quoted. You gave me a quote, which I did not understand. Maybe you can repeat it one last time.
I said that those who are placed at the lowest ebb of fortune's wheel are equally entitled to our regard.
Those who are placed at the lowest ebb of fortune's wheel are equally entitled to our regard. And this is in reference to Linda Okulu.
No, I've not said that. But okay. I was just, leading you to a point.
I see. Well, let's move to a few more things. Now that you are in opposition, you've said that you've not even started opposing. Is that to mean that when the dust settles, we are going to see a more forthright and
constructive,
strident, I want a word, strident opposition? Because this is more like courtesies of getting the government formed. That's what you're trying to say?
Yeah, basically that's the point. The government needs space to settle in. You can't be seen to be pounding them from day one. That's not the right way. They need to have the government in place. Ministers must take responsibility. So far, I think that they are dodging the question. Instead of owning their policies, they're behaving as if they are down doing matrimony, and setting up committee here, committee there. I don't see the essence of the committees they are setting up. You say you have a policy. You've enacted that policy in your manifesto. Roll it out and own it. You don't get into government and you say, and I'm setting up a committee. You want to privatize ECG. Be bold about it. So, ab initio, they are creating a certain impression of undecisiveness on the part of the government. And we are waiting for the 120 days to lapse. Then I'm sure ministers would have been in office, had their 3 months. They are still doing appointment. They are not done. So far, they've not done any fair balance. Look at my paternal home region, Volta. What have they done for the people of Volta region? The appointment coming from Volta region, even Greater Accra.
But is that even fair for you to be doing? Because
there must be a fair balance. So it's fair for me to ask.
So, for example, are you saying that the appointments so far have not reflected regional balance?
I'm saying that Volta deserves better. I say that Greater Accra deserves better. And that's what I'm saying. Greater Accra must be given its fair share.
You are doing politics.
Well, exactly, that's why I'm here.
No, you are not here for politics.
But what am I here for?
Governance.
Yes, politics is governance.
It's a part of it.
No, but governance...
Politics is a means to governance.
Wait. Somebody
can be a military
means that you should be fair.
No, governance is how you lead.
In how you appoint people. The country...
But the constitution says you should have regional balance.
Yes, but...
And so, for example, if you look at this cabinet, every region has at least one.
Or at least one, you say.
And some have two.
But
Only two have three.
But you have a national security coordinator. coming from the Gonja land.
Yeah. National Security Advisor coming from the Volta region.
No, I'm not talking about National Security Advisor. I'm talking about National Security Coordinator.
Yes.
You have the Secretary to the President. Okay. Go to the NIB Director General. Okay. You have Joyce Mukhtar Bawa. Now you also have Asidun Katie's son as a Deputy Chief Executive.
You are picking and choosing, aren't you?
But what am I supposed to do?
But it's hard. If you look at
what do you think
75 or so.
No, wait. I'll get there. You have Bazintali. He's related to the president. He's from his own
is it a relative or?
No. He's from his backyard. Okay, he's been sent to YEA. So we are watching. They accused us of family and friends, didn't they? We are watching with our 2 eyes. So let them finish their appointment in the 120 days.
And then you can analyze it properly.
Then let us have a full picture. But so far, my paternal home region hasn't had its fair share
of the
appointment.
Have they told you this? They have 3 ministers?
Who and who are they?
You vetted all 3 of them?
No, you mentioned.
At least you vetted Jifa Gomas, you vetted Governors Kwame Abuja. A black one will appear before you.
With all that water brings on board? Is that fair?
So this is politics?
No. This is governance and politics. Is that fair? Since 1992, since Rawlings left.
It's not for me to say.
No, since Rawlings left. What has the NDC done for the people of Volta region?
So what does balance mean to you?
Well, you should be seen to being fair. What have they done for Greater Accra? What have they done for Greater Accra in all these appointments? The Gamashi area. What are they doing for them?
You've been mentioning names of people you think should get positions.
Rawlings' daughter, the founder of the party.
Are you serious or are you playing to the gallery when you mention those
which
names?
Gallery? These are bare facts.
Today you mentioned a lot of names on the floor. Grace Ayensu Dankwa, you mentioned Janet Rawlings.
Grace Ayensu Dankwa, a surgeon, a professor from Western Region, Secondary area. Okay, Esikado Ketan, a big seat.
Yeah.
These were seats that in MPP we honored them with a ministerial appointment. You've left her naked. A Senator Rawlings.
Is ministerial appointment a reward? Is it supposed to be a reward?
No,
for votes? Is that how it's supposed to be seen?
It gives a representation of how you as a government, okay, see the people and how you would want to
so you should
get
you should give Volta and Gamashi more, Accra more. Based on what you're telling me.
Well, they should know better. They should know better. And the people of Greater Accra are watching how you are sharing. The people of Volta region are watching how they are sharing. All right?
Shouldn't you be more concerned, in addition to what you're doing for the country in Parliament, also about the state of your party in terms of the serious defeat at the polls and how possibly demoralized the base is and uncertain the playing field is? I suspect, based on your constitution, the minority leader is either the leader of the party or one of the key leaders. I'm not sure. So the party that you lead is in a, I don't know what word to use. It's in a demoralized state. I guess it's fair to say.
Okay, so in a demoralized state, true. You are right. I am not the leader of the party. I'm the leader of the parliamentary group.
Okay, I stand to be corrected.
And when the party is in, does not have a flag bearer.
Okay.
The chairman of the party is a leader of the party.
Okay.
That is the practice that I've grown to meet.
Fair enough.
You know, but when we have a flag bearer,
then he becomes the leader.
The leadership of the party.
Okay.
Now, in 1992, we lost an election. 96, we lost an election. We had only 61 seats out of 200 seats in the 96 elections. The NDC had 133. Some 6 MPs joined our side to make bring us to a minority of 67. But within 4 years, we transformed that into a majority. We had about 102, 104 seats and won victory for J. Kufuor. Fast forward, 2004, 2004 we won, 2008 we lost. In opposition for another 8 years, particularly in 2016, we had 169 seats. NDC lost the presidential with over 1 million votes. They were also demoralized, but they went home, put their house in order. Within 4 years, they managed to reduce our 169 super majority to 137. It took only one seat to give us the majority, 138. And our vote had reduced to 500,000. I mean, our margin of win, victory, was just 500,000. So we've reduced from 1 million to 500,000. Today is their day. So in times like these, it's our duty to go back, reorganize ourselves, start the internal reorganization, and bounce back. I hold a humble view that in terms of governance, the infrastructure we put in place, the public, the social intervention policies and programs we rolled out, if any objective analyst takes our 2016 manifesto, 2020 manifesto, and decides to match it with our work, we would get a fair marks that these people, they lived up to their manifesto promise.
Really?
How? Of course.
Okay.
Check it.
Okay, you go on.
Social intervention.
We don't have time, so you just
very well
finish the point.
Very well. We've lost it. It's no, we can't go back to this to argue. We've lost elections. We've been reduced to 88. We're still fighting the Ablekumanov. If that adds up, it doesn't change anything. But we are 88. We have a duty to go back and work. And I'm sure that as we go through the internal elections right at the polling station, Ghanaians will begin to see...
Will this require constitutional amendment on your party's side? Some people think that some of the issues are structural. They have to change
too early. You see, some people have been talking about opening it up to everybody. But bear in mind, NDC did that. They suffered. They went back to amend to reintroduce the college system. I think that the complaints of the monetization is something we all hear. But Bernard, monetization of politics did not start today.
But it's gotten worse.
Well, that is what it is. I wouldn't want to get in there. But monetization of our politics will not get better. Let's face it. And if you expand and you say every card-bearing member should vote, it won't change it.
To reduce the ability of people to
Bernard, with the greatest respect, it won't change.
You still think it to be expensive
Bernard,
to win?
It won't change it. Don't let us trivialize it. We are politicians. We know what we see. Look, this country, if was Bama,
it doesn't matter whether you have money or not.
Ghana say already win election. And Breno so I be win. Look at 2016. We had a lot of infighting at the party headquarters. People thought Nanadu could not win. People thought that it was over for Akufo-Addo. He won with over 1 million votes. The country has a certain psyche where it gets to a point.
I'm talking internal politics and money, not even the national.
No, but
internal politics. If you expand the electoral college, that would mean that maybe ability to come delegates, give them flat screens, and then get their votes is reduced. You don't think so?
NDC, when they went for their internal elections, they shared things. These flat screens, deep freezers, and whatever they shared. It's because maybe fortune has smiled at them.
With the extended electoral college they did in 2016 or this one? Because
no, even that they spent money. This one, they had the college system.
So you think the college system may not be the problem?
I'm saying that if we want the political parties to have a system to regulate it, I think we should rather introduce that where there's a deliberate grooming.
I see.
Okay? Because you don't want just anybody to represent your party. So if there's a certain form of deliberate grooming to prepare people, look at it case by case situation, constituency per constituency, then you do research. Through the research, you know the suitability of the candidates.
I see.
That one can curtail it, one can address it. So if you are arguing on that front, I'm all for it because I believe in research. I believe that research can help you as a politician.
Some former MPs have been speaking and saying the party was too weak in relation to the government, that they felt like if the executive were a bit stronger, they could have pointed the way to the government when the government went off. I've heard a few of the former MPs say this.
Bernard,
you agree with this?
When a party loses an election, the reasons are numerous. Many people would say all manner of things. The good news is that the party has set up a committee to inquire into the challenges we had. Let's wait for them to come out with their reports. NDC did it, it helped them. The Kwesi Butchie thing. Now we have Professor Kwe committee. Let's wait. Let them come out with their reports and then let's take it out from there.
What will Afenyo-Markin want to be remembered for in these 4 years? Because it's a defining position, and sometimes when you are on the weaker foot, it's probably even a better case to tell your story than when you're in government. So it seems like there's a lot of eyes and pressure on you, lots of comments on you. Well, how do you see the job, and what do you want to be remembered for?
As for the pressure, it would come. I'm 46, I will turn 47 this year. If I'm calculating correctly, I started this public service job before my 24th birthday, 2022 thereabout. So if you take 2002, so if you take it away, serving constituency financial secretary, becoming an assemblyman, I've lost elections. I lost constituency chairmanship election. I won my primaries. I was denied the opportunity to represent the party in the 2004 elections. Contested assemblyman, presiding member. I've been part of all national elections since 2004. So I have a fair idea where the Lord has brought me, and I have a fair idea the expectation of the party. Like I said initially, this is a party of equals. So you can never have absolute power. You would have to be always persuasive, rally the various interests. You know, when I was being considered for leadership, there was this argument, Central region, only 4 seats. Ashanti brought some 39, 40 seats. Eastern region brought some 20-something seats and all that. When the elders were having all the argument, they said, look, J.H. Mensah was their leader in 97. J.H. Mensah was not from a region with the highest number of seats. But J.H. Mensah brought competence, hard work to the table. I want to be remembered as the leader who gave his all for his party.
So clearly there were I won't say there was a challenge, but it wasn't automatic because you were the majority leader.
No, there was
it wasn't
it wasn't automatic at all. I mean, maybe we will give it another day to discuss it. There was a fierce, contest, though it was not an election, but there was.
Did you have to appear to justify, or this was more?
No. It
was their decision.
Somebody once said that this party has a way.
Okay.
MPP has a way of turning 360 to choose its leaders.
Okay.
And I believe in that because initially it was quite worrying that when people were introducing the number argument, then I was like, I'm a Fanti and an Aloman. Okay? From Central Region, we had not performed. Only 4 seats. If I'm adding my paternal side, 0. Okay? Afenyo-Markin. Efutu Fante, I agree. All right? And here we were, people were arguing. And it got to a point, some regions said, okay, as for us, we want a particular position, but we want the leader for another region.
Wow.
So we'll add our vote to that for that particular person.
So there were a lot of
it was
permutations.
I was like, hey,
Wow.
where do I stand? But when I use the owners of the party, I mean to say the elders, the key stakeholders sat down and said, look, this young man, we've watched him. We know what he's done. Let's not look at the region and its performance. Let's not look at his tribe. Let's not look at certain things. Let's look at what he brings to the table. I think that is a key reminder of the expectation. So if Hakman Owusu Agyemang is sitting there, an 80-something-year-old man, I have a fair idea his expectation of me. If Professor Michael Quay is sitting there watching the TV and sitting in at National Council member and saying that Kwamena should be the party leader in Parliament, I know what he expects of me. If Dan Boche, if Nana Akufo-Addo, if Dr. Bawumia, if Kennedy Japan.
So all the elders...
All these... No, mine was...
unanimous on the elders.
I mean, I remember one prominent member of the party from Ashanti region telling me that, Kwamena, Obiba Minchenso Ope leader, the Amikache and say Afenyo dia ne dia, any day non negotiable.
Wow.
But we pay any other position dia.
Wow.
Now, it was striking because this woman is a big name in Ashanti. And I'm not an Ashanti. It's my wife who is an Ashanti.
And there was an Ashanti
and there
argument.
was no issue of an Ashanti thing. And the person who had gone to her to ask for the position was an Ashanti. And he said, look, say a leader ne dia. And it mintio and the tenase. But so who pay before fraud dia and the tenase na yankasa.
Wow.
It tells me something, and it tells me that my job is to work hard, relate to the base of the party, know what the party, all that the party wants from me is to lead it to win power 2020.
As you said, that's far as the Lord brought you. Did you take communion this Sunday?
You want to ask about Freemasonry?
No, your church asked you a question.
You want to talk?
No, I'm just asking.
You want to talk?
No,
then we'll go there.
Did
You have time for us to talk about Masonry?
No, I'm just asking you a final question.
This morning,
did you take communion?
Okay, so let me tell you. No, I'll tell you. Yesterday,
you went to St. Augustine.
Yesterday in the morning,
you're a good Catholic.
Yesterday,
yes,
we had mass at home. Father came to do mass with me
at home.
My wife and myself.
Oh, you have that privilege?
Yes, of course, all the time.
Okay.
In my office, they gave us a room where a resting room.
Okay.
I converted that into a small chapel. Okay. Father came to consecrate it. We have the altar. Okay. Every Tuesday we have mass. Even today, yesterday in the morning we had mass at home.
Okay.
Father came at 7. We had mass.
Okay.
This evening, because of your program, I missed mass.
Oh, forgive
Father
me.
came. Father came to the office for us to have mass at 8.
Okay.
But because of your program, I pleaded if we could extend.
Wow.
We could make it 10. And he said, "Oh, yeah, no chanopa."
Wow.
So we'll have mass tomorrow morning. My Archbishop, Palmer Buckle, has not written any letter to me. I've been seeing letters flying. Nobody has written a letter to me.
Personally?
Yes, of course. Nobody has written any letter to me. I am a committed Catholic. I repeat it. I am ready to discuss issues about fraternities that I join.
Okay.
I'm ready to open up.
Okay.
If I was afraid, I wouldn't have brought it
Said
up.
it openly.
There are many Catholics who are Freemasons and are afraid to talk about it. Freemasonry is not Antichrist.
Well, your church disagrees.
I am saying that Freemasonry is not Antichrist. If for nothing at all, the Rose Choir, the highest level of Masonry, you must profess Christ. People don't know, and people say things. But I am ready for that debate.
So will you write a response?
I've not been written to.
There's a document circulating publicly
please,
where he
please,
said... No, he's
please.
written a document.
I'm saying that I've not been written to. If I receive a delegation of my church leaders for a conversation. We'll have a good conversation. If it gets to a point that the church takes a position that, look, Kwamina, we think that this one, we really disagree with you, that will be for me to take a decision. Whether in that circumstance, but I know we will not get there. In that circumstance, I will still have to remain a Catholic or move to the Anglican church and become an Anglican.
So if you're forced to choose between
no,
the church,
I don't think we'll get there. I know my church. My church doesn't.
Which would you
choose? My church first. My church first.
Your church first.
The church does not force people. The church would always listen. The church shows compassion. The church shows love. And I know, the Catholic Church that I know would engage if it has to engage. President Kufuor has been amazing. He occupied a grand rank in the UK.
Yeah.
The following week, Pope invited him and honored him. What are we talking about here?
I wish you well.
No, you can't wish me well. You can greet me well, which you cannot because you are not a Mason. You can say you greet me well. If you want to,
I will say what I want to say.
No, but I'm telling you that you can't say you wish me well.
Why can't I say that?
If you want to use a Masonic language.
I don't want to use a Masonic language.
But what do you want to say?
I just want to wish you well.
As we conclude the debate,
yes.
the program.
The program, yes.
Oh, very well. I wish you well too.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Kwamina Alexander, there was a chieftaincy title in front of your name.
No, I don't have a chieftaincy title.
What's that?
The Osahin honor, Neni Gate is my uncle.
Okay.
My maternal belongs to the royal family of Ifutu.
Okay.
I'm a royal maternally, I'm a royal paternally. They honored me with that title. It's not a chieftaincy title. You know, Ikwe Ifutu, Osahin, yeah, Izina Wazima, Peyina, Wezi, Ozi, Asafuanu, Aye, Abobra, Edu Baby na Wazi, Dam, Abuzinamo. For over 200, 300 years, the Futu state hasn't honored anybody with that title. And then Nyenigate insisted that Kwamina, we are not giving you this for it to be under wraps. Please, from today, this should be. And I respect that. I love it. I love tradition.
So, Osahin.
And you're Osahin. And I love it. And I would want to use it because at least my maternals have honored me. The whole Ifutu state, where I trace my ancestry maternally, has honored me.
Yeah.
The least I can do is to accept.
I just want to mention the full title. So
it's Osahin Kwamina Afenyo-Markin.
Afenyo-Markin.
And I love it.
You're a big man. Thanks for watching the show. We've had a great time with him, and we'll see him tomorrow on the committee, hopefully performing to the glory of God. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.